Alright, before we jump into the video, if you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. If you like the video, drop a like rating down below. Tell your friends, share all these videos. The support would be amazing. Yeah, just enjoy the video. If you like it, like it. If you like my content, subscribe. So, without further ado, let's get into it. What is up, guys? I am back with another video. This video, I am going to be predicting the 2020-21 NFL playoffs. So before I predict, I'm going to start out with what I think the seeding will be. So at number 1 for the NFC, I have the Seattle Seahawks at 13-3. Number 2 for the NFC, I have the Saints at 12-4. Number 3 are the Packers at 11-5. Number 4, the Cowboys at 10-6. All right, number 5, we have the San Francisco 49ers at 12-4. Number 6, we have the Philadelphia Eagles at 10-6, and number 7, we have the Vikings at 9-7. Teams that just missed out on the playoffs are the Cardinals, who I think they have a lot of potential, but I don't think that they're just quite ready. The Bucks, overrated, in my opinion, overrated. I don't think, but they're gonna just miss out. And yeah. All right, so heading on to the AFC team. At number 1, I have the Kansas City Chiefs at 12-4. Number 2, the Baltimore Ravens, also at 12-4. Number 3, I have the Tennessee Titans at 10-6. And number 4, I have the Buffalo Bills at 10-6. The number 5 seed is the Steelers at 11-5. And the number 6 seed, the Raiders at 9-7. And then the final seed in the AFC, the number 7, Indianapolis Colts. Teams that just missed out on the playoffs, I have the Broncos, the Patriots, and the Jets. I know what you might be thinking about the Jets. They suck, but I'm honestly high on the Jets. I think they're a good team. So, for the AFC, we have our first game, the Buffalo Bills versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Steelers, they're a really good team. Minkah Fitzpatrick, obviously, one of the top safeties in the NFL, one of the top defensive players. Same with T.J. Watt, Joe Hayden, and Steven Nelson. That's a really good cornerback duo. But on the Bills, they have Tre'Davious White, Jordan Poyer, and Micah Hyde, which in my opinion are probably the best safety duo in the NFL, or at least top 5. They have Terrell Edmonds, top 10 linebacker. And then on offense, they have Josh Allen. They obviously just got Stephon Diggs, sophomore running back Devin Singletary. I think he's going to shine. I think he's a good player. I think he's going to do wonders for them. And then on the Steelers offense, of course, Juju, Big Ben, and James Conner. I think Juju's a really good player, but if Big Ben's injured, they're screwed. But I think it's going to be a close game, but I have the Bills winning 24-21. And so, the second game, we have the Las Vegas Raiders at the Tennessee Titans. Alright, so this is an interesting matchup because the Titans, Derrick Henry, obviously, sophomore receiver A.J. Brown. I think he's one of the top rookie receivers from last year, second to DK Metcalf. Really good player. Of course, Ryan Tannehill. And their defense, Adoree Jackson. They lost Logan Ryan. They have Jarrell Casey. But on the Raiders, I think John Gruden could get Derek Carr back to his 2016 self, or at least above average quarterback. Henry Ruggs, obviously the speedster, 12 overall pick. I think he's going to do wonders for that Raiders team. Darren Waller, obviously top 5 tight end. I think the defense is where they struggle. They have Max Crosby. They have their second year safety, Jonathan Abram, returning. I don't think it's going to be that close of a game. I think the Titans at home, I think they're going to win 24-13. Yeah, I think the Titans are going to win 24-13. Derrick Henry is going to go off. For our next last and final AFC playoff prediction, we have the Indianapolis Colts against the Baltimore Ravens. I think this is an interesting matchup. Okay, so I think the Colts, really good team, best offensive line in the league, or at least top 5. They obviously got Phillip Rivers. He didn't have the best year. He probably had one of his worst years of his career, but he's reuniting with Frank Reich. He has weapons in T.Y. Hilton, newly drafted wide receiver Michael Pittman, Marlon Mack at running back. And then on defense, they have Darius Leonard, he's the maniac. But that's kind of all they have. And then I don't know if he'll be able to contain Lamar Jackson. But that Ravens team, 2 top 10 corners, Marlon Humphrey, Marcus Peters, Earl Thomas. That's a scary secondary. And then on offense, they have Lamar Jackson, Hollywood Brown, and Mark Andrews. Plus Mark Ingram and recently drafted running back J.K. Dobbins. So, this is an interesting game. Because I think the Colts have tremendous potential. Like, extreme potential. They could go destroy the Ravens, but in the end, I think that Ravens team is just too talented. I think it's going to be a close game because we all know how Lamar Jackson is in the playoffs of the Ravens. So I'm going to say final score 21-20 Ravens. All right, and so now we're on to the NFC. So first game, San Francisco 49ers at the Philadelphia Eagles. Yikes. Okay, so Eagles, we know how good they can be in the playoffs. But we also know how bad they can be. San Francisco 49ers, stacked team, Jimmy G, George Kittle, Nick Bosa, Eric Armstead, Richard Sherman, and more. Okay? They're such a good team. They're easily one of the best in the NFL. And then the challenge, I think, is going on the road against the Eagles because I think they're the better team. But I think it's going to be a challenge going on the road and playing the Eagles in that cold state. But I think they get it done and win 20-17 17-13 in a defensive game. I think it's going to be very defensive, not a lot of scoring, but I think the 49ers. I got the standings on. Eagles are number 4, Cowboys are number 6. But, okay, so now, next game we have the Green Bay Packers against the Dallas Cowboys. So, this is an interesting game because they always play each other good. Packers just loaded squad, playing in Lambeau in December and January. Just so snowy. It's hard to win there. And then, even if it's not snowing, it's extremely cold. But the Cowboys, that wide receiver core is scary. Amari Cooper, Michael Gallup, CeeDee Lamb. And then topping off with Zeke and Dak Prescott. I think it's going to be a really close game. Packers, extremely talented team. Cowboys, also extremely talented. Only separated by one game in the regular season. I think this is going to be a close game. But in the end, it's Lambeau, cold. It's the Packers, Aaron Rodgers. I have to take the Packers. 20. For our next game, we have the Minnesota Vikings and the New Orleans Saints. This gets me excited because, the Minneapolis Miracle right there. And then last season, the overtime touchdown to Kyle Rudolph. Yikes, I feel bad. We all know the Saints are definitely the better team. I think regular season Saints are easily top 5 team. One of the best in the NFL in the regular season. But we all know of their playoff woes against the Vikings. Oh my God, I feel so bad. They just can't seem to beat the Vikings, and especially in the playoffs. They did lose Stephon Diggs, but I don't think it's going to matter as much because they got rookie wide receiver Justin Jefferson. They still have Dalvin Cook, Kirk Cousins, top 10 quarterback. I feel so bad, but I'm taking the Vikings in an absolute thriller of a game, 28-27. I feel so bad for the Saints. All right, so moving on to the divisional round. This should be fun. First game, Baltimore Ravens and the Tennessee Titans. We all know what happened last year. Derrick Henry with the infamous Earl Thomas stiff arm, greatest father-son duos in the NFL. This is a very interesting game and a very hard one to predict. Because with the Ravens, you don't know what Ravens team you're going to get. You don't know if you're going to get last year or the year before their playoff teams. You don't know if you're going to have their playoff teams or your regular season team of the Ravens. And I think the Ravens, they have a grudge against the Titans. I think it's going to be a good game. Ravens, they have a grudge. They have something to prove. They're saying, no, it was a fluke last time. We're beating you this time. Titans, they obviously think they're going to win. They're just going to hammer it to Derrick Henry and try and run his way through. But in the end, I think the Ravens are going to pull it away. Ravens have something to prove. They're angry. They're going to go win the game 28-17. All right, for our next game, we have the Buffalo Bills at the Kansas City Chiefs. Okay, both of them extremely cold environments. They're both used to extremely cold environments. Buffalo, obviously, New York. The Chiefs, Kansas City, freezing, snowing. So I don't think that's really going to be a factor in the game. I think it's a skill game. I think the Chiefs looking to repeat. Patrick Mahomes, fresh off his new 10-year deal, ready to ball out, or not fresh off it, but he's ready to ball out. First season with the new deal. He wants to prove it. This is going to be a good game. They're both used to the cold. Both have extremely good teams. Playmakers on both sides. I think it's gonna come down to the last 5 minutes maybe. I think in the end, though, the Chiefs are going to pull away. Patrick Mahomes makes some magic, throws it 20 yards or something. He's insane. Or probably more than 20 yards. Like, that's nothing. But Patrick Mahomes, he goes off. Josh Allen, I think he has a pretty good game, but I think it's going to be close. I just think the Chiefs are too talented, especially at home, that Arrowhead Stadium. Those fans are loud. I think Chiefs are going to win 28-27. Last second play. Patrick Mahomes, touchdown. This game is interesting. We have the San Francisco 49ers at the Green Bay Packers. I want to watch this game so much because the Packers, we all know the Niners embarrassed them. That's no other way to put it. They embarrassed them twice. National TV, one on prime time, the other one also on prime time because it was the NFC Championship. Packers, they have a grudge. They're mad at the 49ers. They're like, I want to pound their face in. They're mad at the Niners. They want to prove that the Niners aren't all that. They want to prove that they're the better team. And I think that's exactly what they're going to do. Aaron Rodgers, I think he's going to go off. 49ers, their defense, I think it's going to be a good match against Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams. But in the end, I think the Packers win it. I would say it was a close one, but it's in Lambeau in January. Super cold. Packers, they feel like they have something to prove, so I'm going to say 23-13 Packers. Minnesota Vikings at the Seattle Seahawks. Seahawks fresh off of their bye week. I think the Seahawks are going to win. Plain and simple. Vikings can never beat the Seahawks. They just can't. Like, I think they're a good match for each other. I think that the Vikings, they're definitely a good team. I think the Seahawks are also a really good team. But the Vikings just can't seem to beat the Seahawks. From the Blair Walsh missed kick last year, and then the year before that, it's just they can't beat. I just don't think they can beat the Seahawks at home after the Seahawks bye in the playoffs. Seahawks win it 24-17. All right, the AFC Championship game. I cannot. This gets me excited just thinking about it. The Baltimore Ravens, the Kansas City Chiefs, two top three quarterbacks going at it on both star-studded rosters, both 1 and 2 seeds. Great matchup. This is going to be a good game. I guarantee you that. I think Lamar Jackson, he's gonna embarrass some people. I can guarantee you that. He's gonna embarrass some people. He wants to get to that Super Bowl. He wants it. He wants it so bad. Patrick Mahomes, he wants to repeat. He wants to go 2 times in a row, win 2 times in a row. I think he can do it. I think he's gonna pull it off. I think in an extremely good game, a thriller, Patrick Mahomes, the gunslinger, the young gun, I don't even know, Kermit the Frog, he's just a beast. I think he's gonna ball out, throw probably 1 or 2 interceptions, but throw even more touchdowns. I think it's gonna be a good game. Final score, 35-34, Chiefs. Seahawks, Packers. This is going to be a good game. Last year, it was the Seahawks visiting the Packers. Cold Lambeau in January. Balled out. 23-28 final score. Now, it's the Seahawks' revenge time. They're mad. They want to beat the Packers in, just like the Packers and the Niners. They have something to prove. In Seattle, CenturyLink Field, January, NFC Championship game. Russell Wilson, Bobby Wagner, Shaquille Griffin, Quandre Diggs, Marquise Blair, Quentin Dunbar, DK. I could go on. DK Metcalf, Chris Carson, Tyler Lockett, Will Disley. I could just keep going. They're insane. But the Packers visiting Aaron Rodgers, Devontae Adams, Jair Alexander, Adrian Amos, Zadarius Smith, Preston Smith, Aaron Jones. I could keep going. Like, it's just endless. This is going to be an amazing game. I think Russell Wilson versus Aaron Rodgers, DK Metcalf versus Devontae Adams, Shaquille Griffin versus Jair Alexander, and so many more position battles. This is going to be a great game, absolutely amazing. I think it's going to be a thriller. Aaron Rodgers throws an interception to Shaquille Griffin in the fourth quarter while the Packers are down. Throws an interception to Shaquille Griffin. Seahawks score one more time. Aaron Rodgers drives downfield. Can't score. Final score, 31-23, Seattle Seahawks. They're going to the Super Bowl. Two best quarterbacks in the league, probably battling for who's going to be the best. Probably the biggest two MVP candidates. Just great teams all around. Speedsters on both sides of the ball. Big hitters on both sides of the ball. I think it's going to be a crazy game. Amazing. It's just going to be all around fun to watch. Awesome game. Offense, defense, both sides do well. Thriller. Neck and neck the whole time. Patrick Mahomes, we all know what kind of magic he can make. He kind of reminds me of Russell Wilson, but I don't know. I think it's going to be a really, really close game. Seahawks win it on a last-second play. Touchdown. They're down 3. They have to score. They're down 4. They have to score to win. Russell Wilson, touchdown. Throws to DK Metcalf, touchdown. They win it 31-28. And those are my playoff predictions. So, yeah.